Let's go ahead and simplify this numeric expression. This is not that difficult of a problem, but it's easy to make a mistake if you're not paying attention. But let's take a look at the problem. We have a fraction, and in the numerator we have 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 times 3 all over 270. But to get to the right answer, there's different paths you can take. As long as you're kind of whittling this problem down by taking one step at a time and these steps are correct, your work can look different than mine. As long as you're in control of the problem and you end up with the final answer, that's what really counts. So if you want to go ahead and give this a shot, pause the video and put your answer into the comment section. Of course, I'm going to cover all this in just 1 second. But before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John, and I have been teaching middle and high school math for decades. And if you need help learning math, well, check out my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this video helps you out, or if you just enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. Okay, so I'm going to show you the answer here. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and do this problem in my own way. Again, your work could look a little bit different. But here it is. So we have 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 times 3 all over 270. 2 over 15, 2/15 is the right answer. Okay, so if you had this in decimal version, of course, that's perfectly fine. But without a calculator, you don't want to take the time to take 2 and divide it by 15. You should have ended up with the fraction 2/15. As long as your fraction is fully simplified, that's what counts. So if you came up with another fraction, but now you just take a look at it and you're like, oh, I just didn't reduce it or simplify it, make sure that, in fact, you may have the right answer. But anytime you're dealing with fractions, you have to make sure your answers are fully simplified and reduced. But this is the correct answer. And if you got that, that's outstanding. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a nice little happy face with an A++. We'll give you 110% and a few extra stars. You can have an awesome extra special day. Very, very good. Now, as I indicated, a couple of things here. One, to do this problem, you can kind of take different kind of approaches and strategy to it. So let's just talk about this real quick. You could take 3 times 3, and you could, of course, turn this into the number 9. And then we have 3 times 3 times 3, which would be 9 times 3, that's 27. Then you can add these up and then kind of deal with one large fraction and reduce it. That's one approach. But if you're looking here, you're like, well, 3 times 3 is a lot of 3's. Maybe we can make our life easier. And that's what I like to do in math. So let's take a look at how you can make your life easier when it comes to calculating things like this. So if we notice, we have an addition sign. So this is a sum. So what we can do is we can factor out the greatest common factor. So notice here, each of these, this part of the sum, we have a number plus another number, have the same factor, 3 times 3. This is the greatest common factor. In other words, I can write this numerator this way, 9. Okay, this is 9, and this is 9 times 3. So I could have write it this way, 9 times 1 plus 3. Because if I distribute that 9, okay, that's 9 times 1. That's the same thing as this 9, or 3 times 3. And then 9 times 3 is the same thing as 27, or 3 times 3 times 3. Now, the reason why I would choose to do or rewrite the numerator in that way as a factor, because I'm looking at this 270 and I'm like, you know what, I know that 9 times 3 is 27, so I see all these numbers in common. So we could just start factoring this or cross-canceling some of these factors just to make these numbers more manageable. So a lot of you might be saying, well, isn't this like the order of operations? Don't I have to add this up, what's inside the parentheses? Well, yes, we haven't even actually done anything yet. We're just trying to kind of rewrite our problem in terms of factors so we can kind of whittle these numbers down to something a little bit more manageable. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So here, this is, again, my approach, right? Your approach might be a little bit different, but, I want you to see how I'm doing it so you can kind of have some ideas to handle these type of problems in the future. So, especially, of course, without the aid of calculator. So here, I'm thinking, okay, 27 is the same thing as 9 times 3, so I can think of this fraction as 9 times 1 plus 3 over 9 times 3 times 10. That's 270. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because right here, I have common factors, all right? This is 9 being multiplied by this, and this is all multiplication. You could cross-cancel common factors, okay? If there's a factor in the numerator and the denominator, we could just get rid of that right there. We got rid of that 9, and look, we're already whittling down this problem. I haven't even done anything other than just factor this out. So let's cross-cancel these 9, so that leaves me with 1 plus 3 over 3 times 10. Okay, so what do we do at this stage? Well, you can add these, add this up now. You got 1 plus 3 over 3 times 10. But what you cannot do, and this is where a ton of students will make a mistake, or a ton of people, they'll be like, oh, well, can't we just cross-cancel these 3? That's a big no, 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 okay? I have seen this mistake throughout the decades a million times, maybe not a million times, maybe a few 100,000 times. You get the idea. Lots of people will make this error. This is a sum or a difference. These are not factors, okay? This is not being separated by multiplication. This is being separated by multiplication, i.e., if this was multiplication, then I could cross-cancel. But this 3 right here, this 1 and 3, is a sum, so you cannot cross-cancel. So that's why we have to kind of take it to the next level. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple things you could do. You could say, okay, 1 plus 3, I'm going to go ahead and do this, what's inside the parentheses, order of operation. That gives me 4 over 3 times 10. And 3 times 10, of course, is 30. So I have 4 over 30, and I can reduce that fraction down to 2/15. So if you had this as your final answer, that's good. However, remember, you always have to simplify your final answer. So if this is kind of like the general path you took to get there, that's excellent. But let's take a look at the problem at this point. So you have to take this 1 and add it to 3. You have no choice here in the numerator. Of course, we have the order of operations. We got to do what's inside the parentheses. So that's 4 over 3 times 10. But what's a better way is you always want to be thinking of like factors, okay? You always want to look for opportunities to cross-cancel stuff. So here, 4, you're thinking, oh, that's 2 times 2, and 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2 times 5. So these 2's right here, okay, it's 1, 2 for 1, 2. Not this 2 doesn't get to take out these 2 2's, just 1 for 1, and that leaves you with 2 times 3 times 5, or of course 2/15. That's 2 times 3 times 5 is 15. Now another way you could approach this is say, okay, 4 and 10, okay, you're looking at this, I would say 2 goes into 4, 2 and 2 goes into 10, 5, so 3 times 5 is 15. So depending on how you kind of learn how to reduce fractions and cross-cancel like factors, you know, there's just different approaches to it, but the bottom line is this is the correct answer, 2/15. But if you took a different approach but got the same answer, that's excellent as well, okay? So you want to challenge yourself by putting your calculator away. Again, if you took a completely different approach but got this right answer, that's outstanding. Put the calculator away from time to time and just practice this stuff, okay? We're so kind of like overly dependent on using a calculator that when it comes to basic arithmetic, and there's going to be times where you're going to need to know how to do basic arithmetic, especially in algebra, okay? In algebra, you have to be very strong at arithmetic, and believe me, a calculator is not going to be able to help you out when you have a bunch of X, Y's, and Z's. You have to know all these various concepts. So anyways, hopefully this was a fun little practice problem, and if that is the case, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you need help with basic math like this, I'm going to suggest my Math Foundations course. I go over all the basics, or maybe like my pre-algebra course would be an excellent recommendation. But if you need to kind of review, you know, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, all that arithmetic stuff, check out my Math Foundations course. It's a nice little 3-chapter mini course, but it's chock full of excellent stuff, fractions, percent, all that good stuff, all that fun stuff that we did way back in elementary school. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.